action here, starting Friday night volleyball on ACC. Here's Babcock's first swing. Now lead to Dupre. Vasquez Gomez there, had it rejected. Now Babcock trying again, and that one gets sent into the rafters for the first point of the match. So last year, as a freshman, Olivia Babcock led the team in points with 536.5 and kills with 420. Already an ACC Player of the Week twice this year. And here's Valeria Vasquez Gomez out of Manatee, Puerto Rico. 10th in the conference in service aces. There is another one.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Gomez's strong serving. And talk about the little cheer that they do after. It's quite fun. They all go into a circle, do a little whirl around with their arm and throw it up there. I mean, she is a strong server. She's been on a ton of runs so far for Pitt, with struggling to really cause some chaos, and it'll be interesting to see tonight what she does.
There's the middle, Kate Dean getting her first swing in the match. Here comes Babcock again down the line. Dupre trying for Klicka. Up front, Bowie winning that joust at the net. Babcock trying it again. A nice dive, not in time from the back row from Cadence Booth. And Babcock will put Pitt up by 3 here in set number 1. Okay, so Pitt's obviously on a little bit of a run to start this one off here. Who does Virginia need to get the ball to?
They got to get the ball right now to Dupre. She's been leading right now, that offense. She's handling it at a very smart level. She's really placing the ball well, but I think Pitt's going to come in with that gameplay to really throw them off, make her handle a lot of balls, but right now they just got to find one quick side out. So
Klicka will give the out-of-system set, and Olivia Babcock already has a few kills on the match. That is her 3rd on 5 total attacks. And we're going to have our first timeout called by Coach Shannon Wells. And that means we'll take a break here. Pitt by 4 on the ACC Network. Back here in Charlottesville, Virginia, where the Cavaliers obviously have a few players out. Brooklyn Borum, Milan Gomillion, obviously day-to-day, Meredith Reek on there as well. So who are you going to be looking for a little bit more of something from for Virginia, Madison? Right now, you're looking for Booth to stand out. You're going to be looking at your bros in the back row. You have Kate Johnson, you have Haley Velasquez also in that libero jersey. You're looking at all of them, but that's what I love about this culture so much, is that they have so much depth, and they know that anyone they put out there every day is going to bring what they train every single day in practice. A great hustle play there by Pitt will end up giving them a point. We'll point out that Vasquez Gomez had to run all the way into out-of-bounds territory to save that possession, and then they give it right back to the front line, and Tori Stafford will punch it home. So Stafford, you know, one thing I like to say is if she was on another team, she might be the best player in the country. She also happens to share the floor with Olivia Babcock in the front row. Yeah, they've got standouts all over, but, you know, it's a team game, and so they're all contributing at the ways they need to contribute, and that's what makes Pitt such a difficult team to compete with, is they have a standout here, they have a standout here, they have a standout in the middle. They're all over the place, and really just nice job connecting with one another and being able to compete at high levels. So Olivia Babcock there connects for her first block. So she's now 3 for 5 swinging with 1 block, and has been responsible for 5 of the 6 points so far for Pittsburgh. Up front, there's Bree Kelly combining with Olivia Babcock there. Kelly, who leads this team in blocks per set with 1.47 on the season, is 2nd in the ACC in blocks per set. I mean, just looking at that block, the way they were so put together and connecting at the same time, you saw both of their huge hands get over the nets at such a fast rate. It was just made for a beautiful block. Virginia yet to score a point. They trail by 7. They're going to give it to Dupre up front. And the call from the officials say that it was a misfire, and Pitt will get another one. So obviously Coach Wells coming up asking maybe if there was a touch up front. Is that what?
Yeah, I think we're seeing right now there's confusion that she thinks the ref didn't get hit the antenna, but she's set that it went off of Stafford's arm. So I think that's what she's questioning right now.
Coach Wells has that challenge flag in her left hand there. And it does not look like she's going to use it. The point will stay with Pitt. So Virginia still looking for their first side out, let alone their first point in the match. Vasquez Gomez with the service. She already has one ace in the match. They're going to give it to the middle. Kate Dean up front, a scramble for it. Now Stafford will swing. Bowie from the outside. Did she swing far? Yes. Virginia thought there might have been a touch. But Vasquez Gomez out of the back row there, you saw she actually hit the deck.
Yeah, she fell completely back, knowing that that ball was kind of far and it was sliding out. Bowie was smart, looking for those hands, trying to find those high hands and whale that ball out, but just a little higher than normal on that one.
Vasquez Gomez with one ace already in the match. To the outside, Lauren Bowie swinging down the line, much needed for this Virginia Cavaliers squad, and now everyone exhales Madison, including you.
Exactly. No, you give her that ball again. After that swing, she looked at Ashley. She goes, give me that set again. She really made a difference knowing that I'm going to put this ball down. I'm going to get my team that point, and let's go out there and compete. And that is all Virginia needed. They just needed one side out now to get themselves on a run.
The first side out for Virginia in this match. Stafford, and it's a little too much to handle for Kate Johnson. So Johnson wearing the libero jersey. She's going to have to step up big time in the absence of Gomillion, who is pretty much an all-conference player.
Yeah, Gomillion right now averaging 3 kills per set, I think it is. It's impressive, and she's third in the conference digs per set. She has carried such a big defensive load for the Cavaliers, and it's been fun to watch, but yeah, definitely a lot to step up to and defensively.
Up front, Lauren Bowie tooling it off of the block. So Bowie now with 2 quick points for the Virginia Cavaliers, who now trail by 8. So Lauren Bowie actually didn't play at the beginning of the season. She actually saw her first game time in the Cavalier Classic, where she put on a show. Yeah,
she did. She really stepped in as a leader, and only as a second year, stepped in as a leader, took control, and said, give me that ball, I will put it down, made those adjustments, and really led her team in a motivational way by the way she was playing. And so she's really been a key player for this offense, and it's been so fun to watch.
So right now, Pitt up by 9 points after that kill from Ryla Jones, the freshman middle blocker for the squad. Nice by Dupre in the back row. Abby Tatter up front. Now they're going to give it to the outside. Stafford swinging. Did it go far? Was there a touch? Yes, there was. Another point for Pitt. So if you're Virginia now, how do you get a side out?
You got to get that pass. You have to stick that pass just like Dupre did. You've got a tough serving coming at you. So really all you have to do is get this ball nice and high in the air. Allow your setter to run the offense out of it.
Babcock with the serve there. Stafford, look out! Cadence Booth, a little too much to handle on that one. Stafford crushes that one home, and we have another timeout on the floor as Pitt now leads by by 11 points. So the fall seasons roll on, and we have 3 more ACC championships for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Our women's soccer first round coverage gets underway Sunday at 6 and 8 Eastern. The field hockey quarterfinals begin Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and the men's soccer first round starts Wednesday at 6 and 8. ACC Network is the home of ACC championships. So Pitt has been quite the dominant force so far this year, Madison. They have spent 8 straight weeks ranked #1 in the AVCA poll, and they've now had 11 consecutive top 50 RPI seasons from 2014 to 2023. That is the best of any team in the NCAA over that span. I mean, how do you stop them?
Yeah, they are dominant right now. They're a really strong team. And as I was saying, you have a bunch of key pieces all over the floor. So if you're able to stop Babcock, well, then you got to stop Stratford. And then if you can't stop Stratford, then you got to stop Reed Kelly in the middle. You've got your attackers all over. But not only are you saying they're #1 in the country, they're sitting at a 25 winning match streak at home. And this season so far, they've only lost 7 sets. They've really developed a dominant culture for Pitt, and it's been fun to watch the way they grow over the years.
You know what's funny is in 2024, they came into this match with 2,024 total attacks, hitting 333 as a team, which is unbelievable. And that one will just sneak in the backside. And another one for Pitt. So Olivia Babcock, obviously, who is tied for first in the ACC in service aces. She's now got her first one in this match. 43 total on this season. Hey, +1.
Yep, I mean, just a really strong serve. She controls her hand contact really well. So you can see that ball before this last ace, it went deep. That ball tailing, dropping right in front of the passer line. It's a really difficult serve to pass.
And as a you know, you can see there that the libero's having a little bit of trouble with it. If you're in the libero position right now, how do you make the adjustment?
You have to find a way to read her serve. So those last 2 balls, they've dropped a little bit forward. So as pro, you got to take a step up. All your passers have to take a step up. You have to read that ball as soon as it's coming off her hand because it's coming fast. And you've just got to aim to get that ball up and high in the air.
3 service aces so far up front. Jones with the rejection.
Really strong hands by Jones. You just see her waiting. You knew that pass was going to be high. You knew the set was going to be a little high as well. You saw her wait last minute to commit and take that angle from Tatter's swing. Really nice. Nicely done. Jones
with her first block of the match. She's coming off of the 3 blocks in their win against Notre Dame. On the outside, Bowie lets that one sail a little bit. Obviously been hitting the gym maybe a little bit too hard. Goes a little too far.
Yeah, she's just really being aggressive. But hey, props to her because you're playing the #1 team in the country. You are not going to win by tipping the ball. You are going to go out there with the fight, and that's what Virginia has to do. They have to keep swinging. They have to power through. They know that this is a good team, but they've got to power through and keep hitting that ball.
There's Bowie. That's kicked in the air by Klicka. Vasquez Gomez, that long set up front, a joust at the net. And now Pitt's going to reset here. Stafford tools that one way far over to the opposite side off the block. And a point for Pitt. So Pitt only allowing Virginia to score 2 points in this first set. A 17-point lead for them. It's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a huge lead, but props to Virginia because they have kept swinging. They're still in it. You know, as a team, you can easily fall apart and accept that this first set is over, but they're trying things. They're still running plays. They're coming into every huddle, looking at one another, connecting with one another, and that's all about the culture that Wells has created.
That is the first block for Stafford in the match. Virginia desperately needing a side out. Babcock has been on a run here. She's got 3 aces already. On the overpass. Here's Pitt with an opportunity. Stafford swinging. Stafford killing.
Yeah, Stafford right now is doing a great job finding every open area. She's doing a good job reading the blocks. So she noticed that she only had 1 blocker up. So she took that swing down the line. It was a really smart shot.
Is that a timing thing for Abby Tatter in the middle? You think that she probably wanted to be over a little bit to the right more to help with the block? And
yeah.
Lauren Bowie?
Yeah, for sure. It's a timing thing. It's all about what she's also reading. So you have Ryan Jones also in the middle, who is also has been a huge key part to Pitt's offense. So you're having to connect everyone you can and make an adjustment as fast as you can.
So finally, Virginia sides out. And now they will get a service here as Babcock poured on the points there. 3 service aces in her time at that back line here. Again, tied for first in the ACC. Now here's Zoe Doe to service away. She's a rookie who's been impressive. A back row attack, no! Rejected like an unsent DM up front for Virginia.
And this is what I love and what we have seen all year long from this Virginia team. They don't give up. It doesn't matter if the score is 21-4. They come in with that momentum. They make these big plays. They carry this into that second set.
So here's Zoe Doe again. Up front, Jones swinging, popped in the air, Virginia working. Booth. From the right side, the big Becca White for the kill. So White, standing at 6'6", hasn't played a lot recently, but took over in that Cavalier Classic and got her career high.
Yeah, she did, and now she's in and she's hitting that ball. You know what? It speaks depth. It speaks volume to the depth that Wells has on this team, and for her to be a first year and come in with those big arms and be able to swing like that against the #1 team in the country, that's what you want to see from her.
We see some back row attacks there. Up front, Tatter said no. Abby Tatter leading this team in blocks per set, just north of 1 block per set so far this season, and she makes her presence felt on the front lines.
Yeah, just really nice close there by Tatter. She found the seam, she saw that she was going, and she closed it that last set, just beautifully executed.
On the back set, a back row attack from Babcock. Just gets flipped over the net. Virginia stays with life. Stafford now swinging. That one popped in the air by Hogan. Now Booth again. Nice save by Vasquez Gomez. Stafford tipping it over and finding the donut in the defense.
I mean, really smart off speed, but you got to give it to Tegan Hogan. She just got thrown into the match, and she's digging Babcock, a sophomore, a first year, right? And she is throwing herself all over the place. Had 2 amazing saves, one in that last previous point. And I mean, very smart off-speed shot by Stafford, but also props to this Virginia defense right now. It is fun. It's fun.
Vasquez Gomez up front. Again swinging. There's White. Doe to the middle. Abby Tatter. Not once, not twice, but thrice.
But
makes her presence up front.
You also just saw that. Don't set that ball from behind the 10-foot line. I mean, how impressive was that? Every ball was going to the pin. She was off that 10-foot line. Tatter was up, and she just shot her that ball. That is what scored that point. They were so far off the net, and the way that they ran that was beautiful.
Pitt still with a big lead, but Virginia up front. Tatter. It's like taking candy from a baby. Too easy.
Yeah, that was too easy. I think it was smart on Tatter too, because you see the way she swiped her hand, she knew she was already down on the floor. It just went right back to her.
A 14-point deficit for Virginia. Here's the set to Vasquez Gomez, tooling that one off of the block. That is Vasquez Gomez First kill on her 2 swings. And now Pitt gets a side out. But I do want to talk about Zoe Dode real quick, because Dode was named a 2023 ABCA First Team High School All-American, as well as a Top 10 2023 Michigan Miss Volleyball finalist. She's been fantastic so far this year, and kind of could be the curveball that Coach Wells might need if something's not going right.
Right. She's been utilized as a front row setter, so they've been running a 5-2 with Lee and Dode, and Dode's been playing in the front row. She's a lefty, so she can attack, she can find the corners, she can dump it over, she can trick the block. That has been a weapon that Wells has been wanting over the last couple of years, and especially as a freshman, being able to run this offense and connect with these players at such a young age. She's really done a great job making herself known.
So that kill goes down for Vasquez Gomez, and with that kill, Vasquez Gomez now has recorded her 1,000th career kill. That one comes off of the block against Becca White. Vasquez Gomez, 1,000 career kills now for her. That's an incredible milestone, and Virginia now trails by a lot. Pitt set point. That one kicked in the air, the set by Fairbanks, and that one slammed home. And through set number 1, Pitt is going to be back to serve this one. One of the top setters in the ACC, second in assists per set so far this season. Set 2 underway now here in Charlottesville, Virginia. We're in Memorial Gymnasium. Lauren Bowie swinging. Fairbanks on the back set. Babcock up front. Yes, ma'am.
It's just smart volleyball. They see what's open and they're putting it down, and it's a fast-paced game. I mean, why? It can't be slow. They're the #1 team in the country, so they're running at a fast pace. Virginia just has to find a way to slow it down just a tad. They have to find a way to capitalize on, okay, let's slow down Babcock. Let's slow down Gomez. Let's find one hitter to capitalize on and really slow down that game.
Tough one for recovery there. Johnson keeps it in. Free ball coming for Pitt. Slamming it down up front, Bree Kelly, who leads the conference in hitting percentage. On the season, Bree Kelly is hitting .479. Close by in conference play. She has just been in attack mode as of late. 8 kills in their win over Notre Dame to go along with 9 total points.
Not only has it been just attacking for her, she's recorded at least 5 blocks in 8 of the last 9 matches that Pitt has played. And you mentioned the offense. Obviously, she leads the ACC right now in the hitting percentage, hitting a .442. But that's the first time we've said her name tonight. And, you know, they have to do Pitt's pins are doing a great job scoring, but they can also utilize the middles more and get them more involved.
Bree Kelly gets her 2nd kill there of the match on as many swings. So in limited opportunities, making the most of her time. Dupre tapping that one over. Fairbanks up to the far side. And that one knocked home by Vasquez Gomez, who's coming off a 2-kill match against Notre Dame. Had 3.5 points. 1 block from the front row as well. As we take a timeout here, Virginia again down by 4 here in set number 2. More ACC volleyball on the other side of the break. It is a packed house here at Memorial Gymnasium, where Wells and her staff have really energized the program and the fan base, finishing in the top 10 in average attendance among all ACC teams in 2023 as our action resumes with Virginia trailing by 4. That was a swing up front from Bowie. Now a back row attack from Stafford. Nice job, Dean, eating up front there. And Vasquez Gomez tooling it off of the block. Sharp cross straight down for the kill.
Yeah, that was almost like an off-speed tip push that you see from Gomez, and it just, I mean, it's just smart player. She really reads the block and finds the last minute to push that ball in an open space and really utilize the hands of Virginia's block.
Fairbanks with a 5-point lead. 21 aces for her coming into the night. Bowie swinging. Now Vasquez Gomez on the other side. Klicka to Fairbanks to Babcock. You bet.
Yeah, she's putting every ball down right now. She's really fun to watch. And, it's not about the power all the time. It's just the smart placement, but she's always making herself available as an option to be a great attacker.
So Pittsburgh has been playing with pace so far in this match. What do you think that Virginia can do to slow them down as an ace comes in?
I really think that they need to find one way as a team that they're going to side out. Yes, it's a fast-paced game. They're prepared for that because at the end of that second set, we saw all the momentum Virginia was getting. But right now, it's the runs that Pitt's serve is going on. They're going on these long point runs, and Virginia just needs to find a faster way to stick one pass and put one ball down.
On the overpass, Pitt working, Bree Kelly. Nice pop in the air by Lee there. Dupre up front. Did that stay in? No, it goes out. The Cavaliers pick up a point. So their leader is Shannon Wells, who is in her 4th season as head coach. And all they have done under Coach Wells, Madison, is get better. You look at the wins and losses there. What's the reason for that? You also helped build part of this program.
It is the culture that Shannon has really invested into these girls. It is the energy, the blood, sweat, and tears that everyone has poured into this team, and they've really utilized it, and they've taken it up another level. And it's happy, it's growth, it's fun to watch because this team has so much potential, and they're only going up from here.
Virginia trailing by 5 here in set number 2. Here's Elena Dupre, who has 16 aces on the season. Vasquez Gomez, 8-ball corner pocket shot and drops it in.
Yeah, that was a fast swing by Gomez. You can see that Pitt is really trying to push that tempo to beat the block. You can see not even both blockers are up. They are getting beat right now. And that's the tempo that Pitt pushes. That's the tempo you're going to get from the #1 team in that country.
And the #1 team in the country has been really showing up right now as they've been able to deter a lot of the shots that Virginia has been trying to take. Dean up front. Babcock. So sometimes you try to tool it off the block. Other times you try to swing around the block. But if you're Olivia Babcock, you just swing into the block.
You swing as hard as you can right into the block. And, it works for you. It obviously went right in between both, right over Gervasi's head, and it works.
Lee on the back set to Bowie. Just a little bit of a misfire there by Bowie, who has actually been a little bit of a bright spot for Virginia in this match. Her and Abby Tatter kind of trading roles in that first and second set of, okay, we got to get some points. I'm going to be the one to do it.
Right. They really brought the energy and motivation that Virginia needed at the end of that set. And Bowie's always been that type of player. You've seen her growth from last year to this year. She's always been the type of player to really utilize momentum coming from playing in big plays. And that's what you get from Bowie, which makes the game that much more fun.
So we'll take a timeout here as Pittsburgh leads by 9. So here's our Week 10 ACC Network football lineup. It begins tomorrow at noon Eastern with Stanford and NC State. Then Florida State hosts North Carolina, and will cap the night with the huge matchup between number 18 Pittsburgh and number 20 SMU at 8. Each game is also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. So obviously, it's not been exactly what Virginia thought of. If we take a look at some of our stats here, you can clearly see that, Stafford we'll take a look at, and She has been incredible so far. 8 kills on 13 total attacks. It seems like Virginia has not really been able to stop her. You just gotta hope to slow her down.
You do. You have to find a way to slow her down. You know, from front row to back row, you have to find a way to utilize your block to get some touches. You see that Virginia's working towards getting those touches off the block, and when they get a great touch, they're able to make a play out of it. That's what they need to do right now with Stafford. She's getting a ton of swings and is being really consistent for Pitt, but they've really got to get some touches off of her so they're able to transition those digs into kills, and that's what you have to do to slow down an attacker. Make them take more swings than needed, which is going to tire out their arm and tire out the amount of power that they can put into the ball.
By the way, so far in this match, we got 2 aces for Pitt. None for Virginia. Lauren Bowie. Again, like I've been saying, she's been hitting the gym, but swings a little bit too far there.
But I love the aggression.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You don't need, you know, and I said it in the first set, you can't get by with tipping. You have to keep swinging, and if that sets off time and it's not working out, she's still swinging, and I love that.
Vasquez Gomez, obviously, has an ace in this match, and the cool part for her is that, you know, a lot of the time when you look at these statistics and you have aces and service errors, a lot of the time if you're a great server, you also have a lot of service errors. Her service errors are half as many as her aces. Up front, Kelly just trying to tap it where no one is. Booth now tipping it over the block. Fairbanks kicks it up for Babcock. Who else?
Right, who else? But I really like the decision Booth made on that play. She tipped that ball right over the block. It caused a ton of chaos for Pitt. I mean, you saw you had Fairfield coming in for that. You also had Stafford coming in for that. Both players on the ground. The ball can only go to Babcock in that moment, but just a really smart IQ play from Booth.
Babcock with pretty good game already. Tatter up front. She's having a pretty good game as well.
Yeah, she is. You have got to feed Tatter the ball right now. She's on fire. She's scoring right now. She's finding those open areas. She's utilizing that block. That fast set is working for Virginia. They've really got to capitalize on that right now.
So if the block is coming at you faster, doesn't that give you more opportunity when you're setting up your hitter to kill as a setter? You can kind of get it to where they might be able to tool it off a block a little bit faster because you already know where the block's going to be because they're going so fast.
Yeah, and their hands could be weak if they're going up really fast. They're not able to get that full motion of pressing over the net and really stopping to block that ball. So it's definitely a weaker block that you are able to make a change with.
Nice hit up in the air by Johnson, and Virginia got it over. Unfortunately, Stafford was ready for it.
Yeah, but that was also a nice kick play right there. I don't even think they expected that ball to go back over, but Stafford really capitalized on that.
So Stafford and Ryla Jones up front there. Babcock sends that one far. One of the best servers in the entire ACC, and that one went a little bit too far.
That's a serve that UVA needed that side out on. She went on a really long run in that first set, and so for them to be very attentive and know where that ball was going, it was a good decision for them to find that quick side out.
And the service error by Virginia, so obviously Pitt is coming in and they're hitting the snot out of the ball, right? But it doesn't help when you're compounding that with things like a service error. You're giving them 3 points.
Right, we're seeing the errors kind of go up a little higher on Virginia's side, which is stopping them from being able to compete. It's giving more free points to Pitt, which, yes, you're right, they can't do that right now. But they're aggressive errors. Yes, that last serve is in the net, but they're aggressive errors. You can't be afraid to not hit the ball. And I think we're seeing a lot of that from Virginia. They're just hitting that ball. They don't care where it's going. They're really trying to place it, but bring a lot of power. And that is, of course, going to result in a little more of these attacking errors that you're getting.
So Ryla Jones gets the kill there up front. The freshman middle blocker standing at 6'2" out of Fort Washington, Maryland. Was ranked number 79 in the country coming into the season. That set went just a little bit too high for Abby Tatter. So we've talked a lot about timing. Missed timing there between the setter and the swinger.
Yeah, that's a missed timing. That's a little, you know, a little high of a set, a little early jump as well. They've got to capitalize that, but that's the error that they have to clean up. That's the volleyball they have to clean up because they're playing the #1 team in the country. So they've got to find a way to really simplify that play.
Fairbanks able to just tap that one down. She's averaging .42 kills per set and is second in the ACC in assists per set. She's been fantastic so far this season. The ACC setter of the week 3 times already, including last week. She's actually shared it twice this season with another setter in the ACC. Won it once flat out solely, but coming off of an ACC setter of the week, she's been fantastic so far. Dupre, Stafford can't handle it.
Yeah, that's the energy, that's the quick side outs that we have to see. We can't see the long runs that Pitt's servers are going on. You've got to find a way to really capitalize and put down a ball so they're able to regroup and get themselves on a run.
On the far side, there's Blair Bayless swinging. Saw her in warm-ups. And coach said that if she gets an opportunity, she'll get in there. And Virginia, much needed point to stop the bleeding as Abby Tatter will go back to serve.
And this is a momentum. You know, we saw at the end of the first set, and now we're seeing again. But they've got to capitalize on this momentum right now and find a way to get on a run.
Zoe Dode, where Dupre wanted it. Buzlatepa is the new setter in for the Pittsburgh Panthers as well. That one set over by Dupre, and she converts.
You know, that is 3 points in a row from Dupre.
Yeah.
It's smart volleyball. She's killing the ball at a high level. She's finding ways to build off of her other game to bring Virginia on a roll, and she's really handling it well by placing these kills in these balls.
On the overpass, here is a free ball for Pitt. That one kicked in the air by Dode. Now Dupre with a chance to swing to the back row. Klicka taps that one up. Stafford. And one sent backwards again. Babcock pulls it off of the block. So nice job there by Lily Gervais, the new middle blocker, who's a sophomore, seeing her first few touches in this match. She appeared in 34 sets across 15 matches last year. And
right now, I think we're getting a challenge from calling Babcock over.
Okay. So as it stands right now, Virginia
ruling on the court
11.
Is no illegal back row attack. Virginia is challenging that there was an illegal back row attack.
So we'll see if there was a back row attack here, but you know, Virginia getting a few points in the last few possessions. You know, it seems like they still have the energy in the arena on their side, and they're talking with their coach, and they're very active about what they want. What do you think is being said in that huddle right now?
I think right now they're just trying to build on this momentum that they're seeing. So they know that they can compete with this team. They know they can play that high-level volleyball. They just need to find a way to stop the runs that Pitt is going on, and they have to continue to be aggressive, and they have to continue to compete and give it all they can. They know they're playing a high-level team. They've really got to utilize their offense, their aggressiveness, their grittiness, and stop the runs that Pitt is getting behind the service line.
So Pitt coming into the match 19-1 on the season, 9-1 in the conference, with their only loss coming to SMU. But They're 10-0 at home. And let's see if we can see from this angle right here. Buzla-Tepe setting up Olivia Babcock. As she waves her finger saying no, but what'd you see there?
Yeah, so right now what the refs are looking at is they're trying to see if Babcock stepped any part of her foot on the line as she was attacking that back row attack. If she stepped on the line, obviously they're considered over, and it's going to be an illegal back row attack, which Wells immediately thought it was. After
the original fall is confirmed. UEA will lose their challenge.
I mean, I didn't see anything, so.
It was clean to you?
Yeah.
It was clean to the officials as well. So Virginia loses their challenge, like they said, and now Pitt goes back to work with Dylan Griffin, the junior, in the libero jersey, being sent back to start this rally off. So obviously a few subs here for Pitt, as Coach Fisher dipping into his bag of tricks here. Dode to Dupre, sent it long. She got a hold of it though. Nice shot.
Yeah, you know, maybe I think that they train how to hit the deck back there, because both players have done that, and it's been quite efficient.
So Pitt up by 20, or excuse me, whoa, that's 12. That's math. There we go.
We don't do math.
No. Dode to the middle. That one sent down by Lily Gervais. So Gervais, who only had 1 kill in their last match against Boston College, who they downed in 5 sets, able to smack that one home.
You know, you mentioned the energy that Virginia has. This all goes back to the culture that they work on every day in practice. Wells is big on 1% better. Every day, you're getting 1% better. It doesn't matter what happens the point before. It matters. The next point is all that matters. And so that's what you see from this Virginia crew. You're getting the smiles. You're getting the eye contact. You're getting the energy. That's exactly what they train every day. And this is why they have done so well this season, as they are moving on to the next point extremely quick.
A point for Virginia. That one a swing by Lauren Bowie. And Coach Fisher looking at that challenge marker, and he will hold it up.
You know, from my angle up here, that looked like that clipped the line, I would say. And I think right now what we're about to get is challenge. Dan wants to see if that was in or out.
So Coach Fisher immediately looked at the officials. We'll listen in. So what they're saying is that Coach Fisher is challenging that there wasn't a touch, the ball went out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so what the refs will look for is they're going to look for if any part of that ball touches the line. It could be a sliver, it could be half the ball. If any part of it touches, it's a point for Virginia.
Virginia now trailing by 11 in this match after that point, if it stands. Obviously, the Cavaliers beat Boston College in a 5-set thriller for their first win up in Chestnut Hill since 2017. They've been on a roll this season, Madison. 17-4 right now is their record. 7-3 in conference. They're 7-2 at home, 6-2 away, 4-0 at neutral sites. They've won their last 2 contests. I mean, a surprising season maybe for Virginia, but I mean, Shannon Wells has really been building up this team for a while. That one is a correct challenge by Pitt, and so Coach Fisher is going to retain his timeout and his challenge.
Smart play.
Yep. Buzla-Tepe from Istanbul, Turkey, transferred over from Texas A&M, starting us off here. That one smacked. and it went long. So what about Virginia is sending all their shots far in this match?
I think right now they're being aggressive, and they're trying to compete with this fast offense on their side of the match, on their side of the net, where they need to stick to the tempo they run. They can't force it. And I think right now there's a little bit of force, which is why there's the misconnect, and they're sending all of their swings long. But they're also being aggressive. And, I've talked about that all match. You've got to be aggressive against a great team. And that's what they're doing. And so could be overpower, could be disconnect, trying to stay powerful. And they just have to find a way to clean up these hitting errors.
And what leads this team in assists per set? And who better for Zoe Dode to learn from than an Ashley Lee, who was a senior setter, obviously. You don't have any more of that COVID year eligibility.
Right. I mean, what a mentor you have. And it's funny you talk about that, because I was mentioning that today to Ashley, and she was talking about this mentoring she's done for Dode, and it's just such a healthy relationship. And that's the fun part about volleyball, is it's not always going to be about the competition. Yes, it's about competing, it's about getting better, it's about making one another better, but it's also about teaching the growth of the game and continuing to spread the passion and the growth, especially in this program when you have a bunch of freshmen and first years coming in. They have to grow at a fast rate.
So a nice kick up in the air there by Kate Johnson to keep this one alive for Virginia. Babcock swinging. Dode to Dupre. Babcock! She almost jumped out of the gym.
Yeah, that was a really solid, clean block from Babcock. She really sped up last minute. Watch how she reads Dupre. Closes last minute. I mean, just a gorgeous executed block.
Dode to the far side to Bowie. A nice closeout by Bree Kelly in the middle alongside Babcock. Babcock, by the way, with 3 blocks in this match.
The dangerous part about this Pitt team is, they can do it solo. They can also do it together. And together just makes it so much more difficult.
Velasquez sends that one wide. Virginia picks up a point. They're now trailing by 2 here, as Coach Wells is going to have a conversation with Dode.
You highlighted a little bit about the defense that we're getting on Virginia's side in the back row. I want to prop out, or call out that beautiful dig that Johnson had, that great touch. She's been making these plays all night, really getting herself under the ball. And, not all of them have been perfect digs, but they've been high. And Virginia has been able to run an offense out of these nice high digs. Same with Booth. They're doing a really good job just throwing themselves at this ball. But they're just, it's difficult to transition into and get as powerful as a swing that you need to compete with the #1 team in the country.
So Kat Flood, who is serving this one away at 6'2", the graduate, played in a career-high 33 matches, 97 sets last year, as that one sails on Virginia. And we're going to get a challenge here by Coach Wells. So Flood, I was talking to her actually before this game, and she was telling me how she actually did think that she was going to enter the transfer portal over last summer after her senior season, and she ended up staying because she was hoping to win a national championship.
The original call was out, no touch. UVA is challenging that there was a touch on the play.
So obviously, Coach Wells really trusts her players here. She wants them to compete for each other, and that includes, as a coach, you want to compete with them. And so you got to really trust them, like you were saying. And immediately, they looked over at her to call for the challenge, and she does it immediately.
Oh, yeah, you had the whole team over there immediately looking at Wells saying challenge that. That was such a touch. And, there is that point where you have to trust your team. You have to rely on what your team says. And that's exactly exactly what Coach Wells does.
So if there was a touch there, it probably would have been on Stafford. Now, does the ball change rotation, or does it change its trajectory? That's the real question of what they're trying to see right now, as Pitt leads by 4. It seems like if anybody would have touched it, it would have been Stafford up there setting the block. She's blocking it at a .61 blocks per set average so far this season. No blocks in their last contest, but she did have 17 kills, good to lead the squad against Notre Dame. They won that in 4 sets, 3-1. As the officials are taking a look at this, Notre Dame is, obviously they play in the ACC for volleyball, independent for football, as everyone knows, but still always hard to beat. And Coach Fisher is always just trying to adjust and get better. And one thing he told me earlier is that he knows what his hitter trends are, and they like to have great defense. Now there it is right there on the look. And it's another unsuccessful challenge for Virginia. So the officials didn't see any conclusive evidence that Stafford might have touched that. And Virginia is out of challenges unless they push it to a 5th set.
Exactly, and so that's kind of new with the challenge system this year. Is each coach gets 2 challenges, and they have an opportunity to use them in the first 4 sets. If they challenge and they get it right, they get to keep the challenge. If they challenge and it's wrong, obviously they lose it. And if it goes to a 5th set, each coach gets an extra challenge. So kind of unique way to use it. And now there are points where if a call's inconclusive, they'll save that challenge and for that coach.
So Olivia Babcock is tough to swing around up front there. And we have our timeout here in the 3rd set. Pittsburgh by 5. You're watching ACC Volleyball on the ACC Network. Back here in set number 3. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew will get you ready for the day at Gerald Ford Stadium on the SMU campus in Dallas with a 60-minute pregame show leading into Stanford, NC State at noon. They'll also have halftime shows and pre- and post-game shows throughout the day. So this is UVA's starting quarterback here. Cornerback. And Pitt with the service. That one, a little bit of a tough set there from Dode. And Stafford getting everything she wants with that kill. That is her 9th kill of the match. She's also got 8 digs out of the back row. Very close to a double-double again.
Yeah, she's really executing at a very high level. It's fun to watch what she can bring for this Pitt team. And you know, you did mention at the beginning of this match is that she probably would be the best player on that team if she wasn't playing with Babcock. But, you know, they have weapons all over the place. It's a very strong offensive team. And you can see they're all smiles and they're just really enjoying the opportunity to be out there with one another.
Kat Flood with her 19th ace of the season there. Here she goes again. On the back set. A little bit strong for Gervais. Fairbanks to Stafford. And now she'll give it to Babcock on the other side. A nice block in the middle.
You know, Booth has been so fun to watch throughout this match. She's had these plays every once in a while where she has committed to a very strong block or a very strong kill, and she's really changed the momentum or started the momentum for Virginia. And she really, you know, props to her because she may not be having her best stat night or standing out, but she's finding other ways to stand out in her match and really bring this momentum and turn it around for Virginia.
Pitt by 7. Babcock back to serve. The ACC Player of the Week twice so far this season. Other side, Virginia with life.
Did you see that? That was Tatter on the outside. All season, she has hit from the outside, the middle, and the right side. They can really throw her around because she can attack from all over, and it's quite impressive for a middle to be able to do.
And when I talked to Coach Wells earlier in the season, she said that Tatter has the ability to kind of take over anywhere. Tatter from that side, Tatter knocks it home. So Tatter, obviously in Coach Wells' words, is going to get a few more swings than a normal middle blocker in the ACC. They want to get her way above 8 to 10 swings.
Yeah, they do. You know, we've talked about her offensively, but also defensively. She's had so much growth over her 4 seasons at UVA. Started as a first year, averaging .587 blocks per set. Now as a 4th year, is all the way up to 1.09 blocks per set. It's just the growth you've seen throughout her 4 years, and as her 4th season, she's continuing to get better. She doesn't stop. She continues to grow.
She is top 10 in career blocks at UVA. 12 kills in their last match. That time, swinging down the line and just a little bit to the right. So Pitt will regain possession. Tatter's a lot of fun to watch. As a junior last year, she appeared in 26 matches, starting 25, finished first on the team in hitting percentage, second on the team in hitting percentage this year.
I mean, and this is working right now for Virginia. They need to continue to capitalize on it. It's working. They have to use it. They're in this set. They're not behind. They've been in every single set, and they just have to find a way to continue to roll through.
Tatter came into the match swinging at a .277 hitting percentage, averaging 2.7 kills per set. Dupre kept that one in for Virginia. Vasquez-Gomez, Tatter up front alongside Dode. And Pitt just has to get this one over. A free ball, Dode swinging. Took a shot there. Stafford for the kill.
Just a really smart play from Stafford, and who else to go to when you're a little out of system? You have a back row attack. You have 2 back row attacks right now. You've got to utilize that, and that's exactly what they are. It's a very smart, you can see Fairbanks just shot that set in system as a back row attack. Very smart play.
Stafford now with 11 kills on the match. Her squad's up 7. Tatter up front, tooling it off the block. Abby Tatter now with her 8th kill of the match. And she'll play everywhere around the rotation. Tatter leading the scores for Virginia in the match. Stafford on the other side leading for Pitt. Here's Vasquez-Gomez in the middle. Gervais. What a fantastic block.
But you're also saying that that's your front row setter. That's Zoe. Dude is running a 6 or 5-1 right now. You see them both committing at the same time. Beautifully executed, and all of this momentum right now is falling onto Virginia's side.
Gervais with her 2nd block of the match. Here's Pitt working a back row attack from Stafford. Just got that one over. Now Dupre from the outside. Watch your head, ladies and gentlemen.
Right off the head of Fairbanks. I mean, all of the momentum is now coming to Virginia. They've been hitting negative throughout the whole match. More errors than kills. And obviously a higher number of attempts. They've been out of system a lot, but they're utilizing and digging themselves out of this negative hitting percentage.
So Vasquez-Gomez converts on that last one for the kill. She's now got 6. And she came into the match tonight needing 50 digs to record 1,000 career digs. Right now, she's only at 3. But with 1,000 career kills now and 1,000 career digs, she's going to become the 8th member in Pittsburgh volleyball history to have reached that mark. Babcock swinging too hard for Virginia. Babcock coming off of a match where she had 16 points, 15 kills, second most on the squad in their win over Notre Dame. The ABCA National Freshman of the Year was the Pitt program's first. Another point for Virginia. That one coming on the back of Fairbanks, Rachel Fairbanks. It's almost like you have 3 players that essentially could be first-team All-American with Tori Stafford, Olivia Babcock, Rachel Fairbanks. Unfortunately, you know, Babcock and Stafford. And the fall seasons roll on, and we have 3 more ACC championships for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Our women's soccer first-round coverage gets underway Sunday at 6 and 8 Eastern. The field hockey quarterfinals begins Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and the men's soccer first round starts Wednesday at 6 and 8. ACC Network is the home of ACC championships. So obviously, Pitt has been pretty dominant this season, like we've been talking about, #1 in all rankings, except I mentioned that they're 19-1 on the season. How do you ask that they lost that one? Well, that one came against SMU. So SMU comes out and in their first year in this ACC conference beats Pitt at home. Naya Shmay had a season-high 20 kills, and Nady Okamore had a career-high 12 blocks in that match. It was the second time that Pitt played SMU, and that time Pitt loses those final 2 sets, 23-25 and 9-15, and SMU upsetting the #1 team in the country this year. As a new team coming into a new conference, that must be hard, right?
Yeah, it must be difficult, but you know, you come in being able to really have nothing to lose. Like, you're in a brand new conference, you're going to compete with different teams. It's going to be fun, and that's exactly what SMU is doing. They're coming in, they've had some huge wins. They started off by sweeping Nebraska earlier in the season. I mean, just fun volleyball they're playing, and they're really rolling on it with nothing to lose in conference play.
So Elena Dupre smacks that one home. That is Dupre's 6th kill of the match. Again, you can catch SMU visiting Virginia here at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday on the ACC Network. Zoe Doe getting that one over, and it drops in. The lefty southpaw with her 9th ace of the season.
Yeah, she has got a nasty serve. That ball moves so quickly. It's pace, it is clean contact, and it just floats right in front of that passer, and it's very difficult to get a pass up.
Fairbanks to the front, Bree Kelly going against Gervais there. Swinging in successfully. Vasquez Gomez, little life here in Memorial Gymnasium now. Virginia trailing by 4 with a side out.
Right, and you're going to have these fun big plays when you play a big team. But you see that this crowd is not going anywhere. They're in it. They have invested their time to Virginia. And Virginia has really proven it with these plays, with these moments that they're creating here in Mem Gym. And they're not going anywhere.
A buoy slam gives Virginia another point. They're trailing by 3 now. Zoe Dowd on a run from the service line.
You know, this is a team you don't want to mess with. Like, yes, they went down 25-9 the first 2 sets. They're playing a great team. But they are not out of this match until you are high-fiving hands. And that's how they treat every single match. which is the culture that they're growing and that they are really building here.
I also noticed that Gervais has really been getting to the block a little bit faster now. And one thing you were talking about earlier is Virginia needs to play with better pace to match Pitt, because Pitt moves quickly. And it seems like in this third set, they're playing with a little bit more of that pace. And now here's Vasquez Gomez with the service. Dode to the middle. Gervais kicked up by Fairbanks. Klicka will set it up. Babcock. It's a swish.
Right, you're talking about the pace that Virginia needs to play at. They just need to defend faster. Their offense needs to rely back to the offense, the tempo that they create. That's what they need to rely on. They can't run a faster offense, but they have to be faster on defense. And Gervais has done a great job of that.
Nice save there by Kate Johnson. Up front, Bree Kelly.
Yeah, that was a great hustle play from Johnson. I mean, sliding into the bleachers back there, she really allowed herself to get there, bring that ball back, which is a really smart idea, but great hustle play.
Valeria Vasquez Gomez, who was third on the team in kills last year with 245. And that one sails Pitt, a free point there. So obviously Virginia got a little bit of momentum there. And just like that, Pitt able to get it right back
runs. It's the serving runs. They have to find a way to stop them. And you know, they're still in this match. They're down by 7, but they can easily get on a run, but they have to find a way to stop Pitt's serving.
Stafford there gets up for a blocker, second of the match. Stafford, who actually played some middle blocker last year. One thing Coach Fisher did last year is he played Stafford at every single position on the floor. He was very unafraid to do so. An ace for Pitt.
Just very clean serving from Pitt's end line. We're getting a lot of depths. We're seeing a lot of clean contacts. That ball is really moving, and that comes from all of Pitt's servers. It's not just one, besides Babcock's powerful topspin, but every serve behind there, it's a clean, flat ball that's just moving really well.
Gervais swinging. Klicka. Now Stafford to the corner. Dode. Bowie going back line just a little bit far. Ten-point lead for Pitt. Vasquez Gomez, like you said, on a little bit of a service run here. It's the service run that has really sucked the life out of this Virginia crowd in Memorial Gymnasium, as Gervais will sub out, and Kate Dean now is back in, who's actually third in the ACC in hitting percentage. On the season, she's swinging in at a .369 percentage. So let's see if they go to her at all here. Dode immediately will go to her. And she'll immediately have an impact.
Exactly, that's just an immediate impact. That is something that is so difficult to do coming off the bench. You're coming off cold, you've been sitting for over 50, 60 points, and you're coming in, and that's the first play you're gonna have. Just exceptional from Dean, and you know, no wonder we highlighted her. She's killing the ball. She's third in the ACC. That's what you need to do, feed her the ball.
So another service error for Virginia. Pittsburgh 2 points away from a match victory. They lead by 10. Interestingly enough, Pitt actually has one more service error than Virginia in this match. Now here's Kat Flood, who stuck around for her graduate year. She's one of the final players on this roster that was able to take that COVID year. And she usually subs in for Klicka, their libero. Now here's Fairbanks with a quick set over to the middle. Other side, Bowie. Was there a touch? Yes. Tooling it off of the block, Lauren Bowie, who's coming off of a 10.5-point game where she contributed to their 5-set victory over Boston College. She had 8 kills in that one, and it goes off the hands of Stafford there. Bowie, the 6'2" sophomore, appeared in all 28 of Virginia's matches last year. Hasn't played in all the matches this year. And that one comes down on the other side by Dahlia Virlan. Virlan having played recently at Euro Valley with the senior national team, placing 11th for Brazov Romanian team. She's the third middle on this squad, just behind Bree Kelly and Ryla Jones. Now Tatter on the other side, seeing her minutes. Fairbanks gonna give it to Stafford, just tipping it over the block. Booth from the outside, drop corner shot.
You know, and I love that UVA does not give up. Doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter what's happening. They're just putting the ball down. They're still competing. They're still going for everything. And, you know, it's just really fun to see that. Doesn't matter what's going on. They just go for it.